What's good, Toxic Nation? ToxicSight here with another video. This video we're doing my draft analysis on my draft team for a draft league that I joined as a replacement to somebody that just dropped out and stopped logging on to do the draft and yada 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 whatever. Um, the draft league is FCL, which stands for the Friendly Continental League. If I remember correctly, there's a bunch of French people and English people and Americans that have just come together to try and do a friendly draft league. I kind of like a lot of the people that are in it. Um, there's 12 people. Um, as you can see on the screen right now, my team's called the Tennessee Absols, with Mega Absol as my mascot. Um, at first, I didn't really want to join it because I'm just now trying to get into the competitive nature of Pokemon and this and that, and which is why I have the random teams thing on to just get into it randomly with random Pokemon and then start growing from there. But a friend of mine asked me to join to replace somebody, so I just decided to do it. My draft team, in my opinion, is pretty good in my opinion, but compared to some of the other people which have more competitive experience than me, theirs is better. But we'll get into my team, and here we go. We've got Gengar, Pelipper, there's not supposed to be an S on it, Gardevoir, Haxorus, Pangoro, Alolan Sandslash, Raikou, Superior, Swampert, Omastar, Mega Absol. For the Mega, it was between drafting Mega Absol, Mega Gardevoir, or Mega Swampert. Which I have the two non-Megas of the other two, but I ended up going with Mega Absol because, as you know from previous videos, my favorite type is Dark. And I kind of wanted a Pokemon that didn't have 4 times weakness, like Swampert is to grass. But at the same time, I kind of wanted a Pokemon that could handle theirself against a lot of Pokemon, which Absol kind of can, but kind of can't. But anyways, and Absol's my favorite Dark type Pokemon, next to Zoroark, but as you know, there is no Mega, unless you're playing Insurgents, the ROM hack. We got Gengar, which I've always been a huge fan of Gengar, even though in Gen 1, Arcanine and Machamp are my two favorite. But Gengar's always been up there. Pelipper for my rain setup with Raikou, Pelipper, Raikou for Thunder, for Volt Switch, for outspeed everything, pretty much. Superior for ground and water types, pretty much. Gardevoir, Swampert. I originally drafted Slacking instead of Omastar for the hidden run strategy. Go in, knock off, or power punch or something to take out somebody and then switch out for True On and back and forth. but then people would just use protect and then never get done. Haxorus. For Haxorus, it was between Haxorus, Salamence, and Komodo. Um, I really wanted to use Komodo or Salamence, but then, uh, somebody else wanted Komodo that sent me their draft picks to pick, and Komodo and Haxorus and Salamence have been on my list since the beginning whenever I first laid out a lot of these, which out of this list, the only people that were officially on my list was Pangoro, Gardevoir, Gengar, Rocco, Swampert, and Mega Absol, and Haxorus. The rest of them I had to change throughout based on other picks. But right before it got to the round that my 3 dragons was listed, dude sent me his list for his picks to make since he wasn't going to be there, and he had Komodo on it. And I was sitting there thinking, well, I draft before you do, so I could take Komodo, but then I know it's a friendly league and everything, but I didn't want to have the thing on my chest that, oh, well, you just picked Komodo because you saw it on my list, and this and that, so I marked Komodo off, and then I went back and forth between Salamence and Haxorus, and Haxorus won it in the long run for me. For now, I might end up trading him for Salamence later, but because Salamence is by far my favorite dragon. But I didn't want to draft a whole team of my favorites. Oh, I got Absol, I got, well, hold on. Absol, Pangoro, Rocco is my favorite of the dogs. Swampert's my favorite of the water starters. Gengar is by far my favorite ghost type. Glade would be there instead of Gardevoir. Ninetales would be there instead of Sandslash. Omastar is my favorite fossil. Venusaur would be there instead of Superior. Well, anyways. So I just picked Haxorus. I mean, I could trade him for Salamence. Then I needed a fighting type to counter other darks and ice. So Pangoro's dark and fighting, which his fighting resists his fighting weakness, which adds neutral flying and a whole bunch of other mismatched stuff. But overall, I think I did pretty good. I'm just going to flash through other teams' drafts and just name the top 2 out of each team that I'm worried about. Actually, no, I'll do top 3 out of each team that I'm worried about going against. So, first of all, we have my week 1 opponent in the Sherbrooke Venusaurs, LordZoroark. The 3 that I am absolutely not looking forward to going against is Landorus, Emboar, and Ninetales. Bottom row is sitting ducks, but those 3, Alolan, Ninetales, Landorus, and Emboar, give me trouble. I haven't looked into my week 2 or 3 opponents to see who they are yet, but Tater, the guy that invited me into it to replace somebody, on Honestly, I'm kind of worried about his Deontay, maybe his Gudra, and if he chooses a Moxie Crocodile and Crocodile gets 1 kill somehow. Yeah, I guess those are 3 that I'm going to be worried about is Gudra, Crocodile, and Deontay. Which his team is the Sacramento Needle Kings, which is in another DLC, or not DLC, another draft league. I don't understand why they let him use it. Like in LA Infernape is also in one. His team, I'm worried about that Mian Chao, the Mega Glalie, and a lot of people would say Mimikyu, but yeah, I'm gonna go Mimikyu is the 3rd that I'm afraid of in that one because it takes 2 hits just to do damage. Now we got Java. He's another person that replaced somebody late in the draft. Well, not really late. He had like 3 Pokemon already picked. I think he already had the Mega Mawile and Zygarde. Yeah, he only had the Mega Mawile and Zygarde drafted before. Which means I'm probably most afraid of the Entei, the Mega Mawile, and probably the Primarina since it's Water Fairy. Now we got, his team is the Donphan Engine. Now we got Tauros, and Tauros' team is they're the Indianapolis Thunderbolts. Probably the Colts. Indianapolis. I can't think of anything else. Which I think he got rid. Oh, this is yeah. There's Kamo. And the other person he wanted me to draft for him was Alolan Marowak and Roserade. I guess Coco, Tornadus, and Mega Bayonet. Because his Komodo won't stand up to my hacks. But, I don't know, that Alolan Marowak is Ghost Fire. It's terrifying. I mean, it's not terrifying, but... next we got... we call him Cousin in the chat. It's, Daddario, Paris Puffs, Victini. Hopefully he trades that Smirgle off so he doesn't sketch everything under the sun every single week. Honestly, Hitmonlee and Victini and Celesteela, these 2, and then either Lee or Smirgle. Mega Beedrill's alright. Next we got Fake Snake, which is LA Jirachi's. Feeny, who I wanted, but drafted it right before, well, not right before me, but in the same round that I was going to pick up a Tapu. Mega Pinsir, and that Weavile is going to do damage. Turn 1 beat up. Hey, don't laugh at the beat up. I've seen it work. This is Falcon. No one's really liked him. His team is not named. Yeah, his team is not named yet. He actually just traded Chansey for Ferrothorn, which won't cause much problem because it's 4 times weak to fire, which I don't have anybody, but I don't go against Falcon for a couple weeks, so I can get somebody later. That Mega Venusaur is a beast. Cresselia's alright. Greninja, if he gets protein or not protein, preteen or battle, that might cause a problem. Incineroar, really, if he does anything drastic with Zoroark, it might be a little difficult. But the main 3 that I'm worried about is Mega Venusaur, Incineroar, and Cresselia. Pabu, he had to beg and plead for this Mega Latias because it wasn't in the original draft pool. I guess Heatran, Mega Latias, and Decidueye. Would be the biggest problems unless he runs an explosive Registeel just to take somebody out. Then we got, oh, Joey's not complete. Actually, I can go over Joey's team in another way. Hold on. But then we got the owner of the league with the Ocula Blastoises who didn't draft Blastoise. Mega Deoncey is a problem. That Zondralore is going to be a problem whenever I go against him. And from what I hear from other people that have been in leagues with Tepig, Tepig runs a mean Staraptor. So I'm going to be worried about that if it's true. Then, oh, another thing, who had it? Is it Tauros? No. Java? No. Who? Who had? Oh, wow, my week 1 opponent. Duh. My week 1 opponent is, like I said, is LordZoroark with the Sherbrooke Venusaurs. He says he runs a stall Umbreon that he's won leagues with, which I can kind of see it. Toxic sub with Moonlight, but if you have Umbreon and I smack you with the Brick Break Pangaroo or Power Punch Pangaroo with Iron Fist, you know. Life Orb Pangaroo with Iron Fist and Power Punch, Ice Punch, and Bullet Punch. You aren't doing anything. And you're Adam? No. But anyway, that's all the time we have for today's video. This is just my draft recap of all the teams. Oh, I'm just gonna go over Joey's draft because it's not here, as you can see. As you can see, Joey's draft he didn't finish his layout, but he got Tapu Bulu, as you see, Togekiss, Metagross, him on top, red ice, as you can see on all of them. That spot in the middle between him on top that's missing is Porygon Z. Then on the bottom you got Hydreigon, Gliscor, Aluminola, and Electivire, and Mega Charizard Y. So, Bulu, Mega Charizard, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this, but probably Hydreigon would be my other most favorite, the top 3 Pokemon I'm not looking forward to out of his team. Metagross probably won't do anything because it's not Mega, but until I see his week 1, week 2, then I'll fully decide and see how he does and everything. But there's my team again. This is my week 1 opponent. Let me know in the comment section below who you think I should bring, who you think he'll bring. And rate my draft team on a scale of A through D, just like you see in football, just like you see in other draft leagues. And once Zoroark and I come up with a schedule for our week 1 match, I will put a team build video together and do a test play with another member of the league just to see what I have to look forward to. Until then, keep it real.